Good morning, everyone. So today is the 15th of September. It's officially our first year wedding anniversary. So happy anniversary, Bao. She can't hear me, right? But we checked out from our hotel this morning and it was raining, so we took a grab car down. And right now we are at Warung Nia, which is perhaps our third or fourth pork ribs restaurant that we're going to be trying. The prices here are a lot more affordable as compared to what we had at Ginger Moon or Naughty Nuri's. So they also have some cooking classes that are ongoing right now, which is pretty cool and quite excited to eat. And perhaps after this we'll be heading towards Uluwatu already. We'll be going to Radisson Blu, so it's a change of hotel, and we will be spending quite a bit of time there, especially if it's raining all the way through today. So excited. Let's get ready to dig in. So this is what we ordered, a very scrumptious meal. And this is me looking like I'm enjoying my food again. Honestly though, I believe for the price that we paid, this is one of the best value meals that we had in Bali already. In the meantime, the cooking classes were still going on, so it felt like we were having a show and some sort of entertainment as we ate. There was even a show of fire. Now we are on our way to Radisson Uluwatu, and it's going to be an hour and a half ride. And we had a little bit of hiccup just now because we realized that Grab was going to charge us an amount of what?
I think 40 over Sing dollars.
Yeah, 40 or even 50 over Sing dollars, depending on whether it was using her phone or my phone. And eventually we did manage to find a Bluebird that was going to be around, how much are we paying for this?
305k.
305k, so it'll be a 90 minutes ride, and then we will see you guys there. So the trip took us almost 2 hours, and safe to say that both of us were extremely nauseated by the time we got there. It didn't help that Uluwatu was a more hilly area and there were a lot of ups and downs. Even the entrance towards Radisson was kinda looking sus. But we arrived eventually, and this is the guardhouse that leads up towards the lobby. Well, given that this is a resort, it did give off a very tranquil vibe. There was also a live music station. Let me shut up so you can listen to how it sounds like. So anyway, our room wasn't ready yet, so we decided to walk around the premises and explore. I believe for most resorts, the mainstay or the biggest point would definitely have got to be the pool. And this one was of a decent size considering that the resort itself didn't really have that many rooms. They also had plenty of activities that you can participate, most of which are free of charge. By the time we finished walking the premises, the room was ready, but also were we to go and check out the sunset. And so it was good time. We came over to Blue Point Beach, and honestly the beaches here in Uluwatu cannot be compared to those in Seminyak because it's a lot smaller, but there is still plenty of people. But I believe in the golden hour, all of these places look absolutely splendid. Honestly, this would have been a great place to fly the drone, but I have totally given up on flying drones for this trip. Oh, do take note, you do have to climb down a lot of stairs and later climb back up to get to this Blue Point Beach. And then it was time for dinner at this very aesthetic looking like cafe. And honestly, I think if let's say we had unlimited amount of budget, I would love for my house to look something like this, with open full-length glass doors, wooden furniture, some rattan here and there. I really like the vibe of this place. Not to mention that there was the absolutely gorgeous view, other than for the fact that it was also extremely hot because the sun was coming in. So now we are at where? Teja. And we have arrived in Uluwatu about 3 p.m. The whole journey took us almost 2 hours. It was not 90 minutes at all. But upon arriving, our room wasn't ready yet. It was ready by the time we arrived or when we were going to leave, but it wasn't ready when we arrived. So we did walk around Radisson's project. And are you excited for the activities that we can do tomorrow?
Yes, there's yoga, there's, I think,
face painting.
yeah, ketupat making.
Yes, and some aqua aerobics, which they call aquarobics. Yes. So these are all free of charge. We will probably join maybe 1 or 2 activities tomorrow if time permits. And right now we have already ordered our dishes. That's all come. We have got a Angus beef carpaccio here. Let Tanya show you them. And then we also have got an octopus leg. So let me just show you guys the octopus leg. Right. And of course they did serve us some complimentary, is it focaccia?
Yeah.
focaccia bread.
Focaccia.
Yeah, focaccia bread. And suddenly I got to have a coconut, and then I've got myself a beer, which you don't see because it's used to prop up the camera. Yes, so we're gonna dig in, gonna enjoy the evening, the sunset, and then we'll see you guys back at Radisson. So I gotta confess that the beef carpaccio was buzzing. As for the octopus legs though, they were not bad, but wouldn't say there's a must try. We also got a chocolate tart, which was burnt on the marshmallow sides with this hot charcoal. I think this was not bad. The chocolate was really nice, albeit I would think that the tart could be better because it wasn't very crunchy. After dinner, we tried to walk along the busy streets of Uluwatu, but we also realized that because there's not really much of a sidewalk or a pavement, it made it very difficult to walk. We also managed to come across this very lazy dog, which objectively speaking is quite cute lah. And it's time for our room tour. So the pretty huge room, I don't know how big it is because I'm not going to research about it, but the bed was like a super king at least and came with 2 blankets. The toilet had both a bathtub and also a shower area. There was this little balcony which was more beautiful in the daytime. Amenities wise, they did give bath salt, though I don't know what this was for other than the bathtub. And we got some coffee, some tea, some complimentary bottled water, and of course we also had a mini bar, which we were reminded that everything was free of charge, but they served Coke in original sugar. Ew. And these were the activities that were available the next day. We also decided to check out the gym, which even though it sounds absolutely huge at 153 square meters, the amenities were just okay. The free weights area was pretty nice, but in the end we didn't clock in a workout. And instead we did buy supper. Gotta tell you that this meal was absolutely buzzing. We had like mee goreng, nasi goreng, and also a fried egg. And then we watched some Netflix till we were tired and went to bed. Good morning folks, so we are currently here at Radisson. We had pretty good night's sleep such that we didn't wake up for our 7 a.m. HIIT. We completely decided to sleep in. So we're going for breakfast now, and following which we will go for this workshop later at around 10. So I believe it's about 9 now. 1 hour to have breakfast, and then we'll also be going for some aqua aerobics later on. I believe that's in the afternoon. So spending the majority of today here at the hotel, and then in the evening we'll go over to Uluwatu temple to catch the fire dance and also to take some photos. So let's go. So this is the station that they make the pancakes for you. So you fill up a order sheet and also put down your table number, and then they will make the order up and send it over to your table. And this was my waffle with maple syrup and also whipped cream. On the inside of the restaurant, you can also find some tarts and desserts. There was also your standard hotel breakfast fanfare like ham and also some yogurt. Sad to say that even though it looks very good, it was just alright, definitely not budget. What was good, however, was the cereal section because I managed to find Fruit Loops, my childhood favorite. Coffee is all done via a coffee machine, which objectively speaking, I'm not complaining because the coffee still tasted pretty good. After breakfast, we decided to head over to have our activity. So first up, we are doing this gabugan, and it's a flower arrangement that they do at least twice a year for big ceremonies like New Year's. And then later on, our guide Nanda decided that it would be cool to have a Balinese character Aksara class impromptu for us. And not gonna lie, this was pretty fun as well. We had a lot of practice with our names. Albeit, I gotta say that Tanya's name is a lot easier to be written, so she had her own goal first on her certificate. Thereafter, we went for a aqua aerobics, which had a lot of salsa dancers, and it was pretty fun overall because it was quite a big group of us that joined eventually. And in the afternoon, we decided to do the bracelet making workshop as well, which was absolutely kiddie. It was conducted in the kids' playroom. In fact, it wasn't really conducted. It was just the 2 of us over there playing with the bracelet. But it was pretty fun. And this was my finished piece, which had my name, Wet J Ng, and also a few more colorful balls. And then it was time for some skirt. So we came over to BB52, which is pretty well known for their burgers. It's a pretty nice and chill place to hang out. So we're done with our morning activities, and we have skirt out here. We are currently at BB52. What does BB52 stand for?
I have no idea.
Right, but they sell burgers, and we have gotten one cheeseburger and also a... I have no idea what else we bought. Yeah, so we got 2 burgers currently, and they have got this promotion. Please introduce this promotion.
This 50% off selected burgers, which we chanced upon. I mean,
Yes.
we just intended to eat here, and then they told us about the promo, which is great.
Yes, so it's a 1-for-1 effectively, and this is actually our lunch, even though it's already 3 p.m. because we spent a lot of time at the hotel to play all the things, including the bracelet making. So, yeah. Then after this, where will we be going?
Uluwatu Temple.
Yes, we'll be going to the temple to take the photos and also watch the fire dance. So, let's wait for the food and begin. For the burgers wise, I gotta confess that I like the bun more than the patty itself. I think they could be better with a lot more pickled onions, but then overall I'll say this is quite a buzz for a meal. Then it was time to scoot over to Uluwatu Temple. And the majority of people that come here are Hindus because it's a Hindu temple, and they are all queuing up to get the tickets for the fire show. Again, because golden hour was fast approaching, if you look anywhere, it looks absolutely beautiful. And you can see the fire dance stadium from here in this video. And of course, there was plenty of monkeys everywhere. Not that I really like them because they are known to get very, very aggressive. And some people or some tourists do not understand that you should not be feeding them. And yeah, I hated them, so I didn't really stay that long with the places that had them. But I did also go ahead and enjoy some scenery with a lot of caution to make sure that they don't grab the spectacles of mine or the handphone of mine. Oh, and there's also this albino monkey, so top tier racism to lock him up and not anyone else. And here comes more signs in the temple telling you not to interact too much with the monkeys and not to fake them or taunt them because they will make them more aggressive. Ah, lovely golden hour, but we weren't going to be seeing the sun disappear off the horizon as well because of the cloudy day. And soon it was time for us to queue up for the kacang dance, which do take note that there is actually a queue. Do not be like these jokers in front who had totally cut the queue. And after everyone was seated, it was time to get the show started. If I'm very, very honest, it was quite a boring show because it's not in English, there's not a lot of commentary, nor were there obviously subtitles. And I was bored for the majority of it up to the last point when they started playing with the fire. I actually thought that because they called this somewhat the fire dance, there will be a lot more fire, but it was kind of more of only fire right at the end. Although I must confess that kicking away haystacks that were on fire was pretty cool. And then we got back and ordered some grab for supper again. 2 ayam penyet without rice because we didn't want carbs and some veggie. And this is me being comical, pouring my Sprite on the table and not into the glass. And then it was Netflix time once again before we went to bed. Good night. Good morning, and it's our final day here in Bali, and we're having breakfast right now. So I decided to not be lame and take a little bit more interesting stuff. So today I do have a platter of different pastries in front of me. I don't know what they are, but they look pretty good. They are a bit stale lah, to be very honest. And of course I also taken the Fruit Loops from yesterday still because I don't think I'll ever eat Fruit Loops back in Singapore. It's too sweet and I'm not going to buy an entire cereal box just to indulge in myself. I also got myself some muesli and also Greek yogurt mix, and I realized that they also have got some like hakao basic dim sum. They do not have siu mai unfortunately. And gotten sausages, barbecue chicken, a eggplant as well. Drink of the day is still coffee, and we got some fruits. I'm awaiting my waffle that I got yesterday, which I think is very tasty too. And I didn't get the omelette this time because honestly I think the omelette is just meh, not very nice. So we're gonna dig in and then maybe gonna head back to the room to do a little bit of packing, and then later we'll be leaving for the airport. I believe our flight is at around 3 p.m. So let's try and enjoy the last day. So even in the morning, the table tennis table was already set up, but then it was under the sun, so we didn't go for it. Anyway, we had to leave shortly to go to the airport, and this is how it looks like. The ride here was really painful as well because the aircon wasn't really working and it was getting super stuffy. Wanted to die. But it was time to go home and concludes the Bali trip. Oh, one thing that I think is worth commending is that the Bali airport is currently with a lot of different decor in many different colors, which look really cool. So that concludes our very short 5 to 6 days Bali trip to celebrate our wedding anniversary. We'll be looking forward to the next one. It's time to fly back to Singapore, and thanks for watching.